Hey, how you doing? This is Ed Gray, Commish Radio Show, Dr. Ed Gray. I'm here again, just representing all of those people who try to make history cool again. Oh man, damn, I hate saying making history cool again, as if we're saying that history was cool at one time, but now it's not cool. Now we're trying to make it cool. So I'm just going to go ahead and just drop the knowledge, because dropping the knowledge is, well, I guess it's cool, because you have to listen to the knowledge of a scholar. That's what MC Breed said. But I'm wearing this hoodie, man, because it's Thanksgiving Day. And our beloved Dallas Cowboys are playing against the New York Giants today. But I recall that there used to be two other teams that preceded Dallas. The Dallas Cowboys, of course, that is. So I want to go ahead and talk to you about those two teams. I talk about this every once in a while because it's very important. Because it's very important for us to know our history. Because knowing our history, hey, it's cool. Well, the Dallas Cowboys are viewed as America's team. That whole deal about the hole in the roof of Texas Stadium so God could see his favorite team play. Well, we just go ahead and unite God with somehow a football game. God is much bigger than that. But I guess we live in a Bible Belt, so we have to go ahead and use that. But the Dallas Cowboys were not originally Dallas's team. There were two other teams that preceded the Dallas Cowboys. Now check this out. I'm gonna shock and amaze you when I say this. The first team that ever played in Dallas was the Dallas Texans. Yeah, the Dallas Texans. Wait, hold on a second. I'm not talking about that Dallas Texans. You're getting a little ahead of yourself. The Dallas Texans played in 1952. 1952 in the Cotton Bowl. They played, 1952 in the Cotton Bowl. They had an integrated football team. The first integrated football team in the NFL in the South was played right here in Dallas. People in Dallas didn't like that, so as a result of that, they ran those Dallas Texans out of town. So they became a traveling team that played in the NFL in 1952. They ended up being disbanded, and they got reinvigorated, if you will, as a new team that relocated in Baltimore and became the Baltimore Colts. So the first team that played in Dallas was actually the Dallas Texans, who later became the Baltimore Colts, which later became the Indianapolis Colts. And now the colors were ironically blue and white. Sounds familiar, right? Because there was another team that adopted the color of blue and white. But I'm getting a little ahead of myself, so let's go back to where we got this franchise here in the NFL, the Dallas Cowboys. Well, the Dallas Cowboys, the Hunt family, they wanted to bring a football team to Dallas, so they shopped around for a team. One of the teams they shopped around for was the Chicago Cardinals. The Chicago Cardinals. They later became the St. Louis Cardinals. Well, that's not important to you because you don't live in St. Louis. So the Chicago Cardinals, they moved to St. Louis, and therefore Lamar Hunt, who owned the Dallas Texans, I confuse you again, the second Dallas Texans, He owned the second Dallas Texans. So what he did was he said, hey, look, I want to buy a team, bring it to Dallas. And that was this deal where the owners of the Washington Redskins said, no, we ain't doing that. So as a result of that, they didn't do it. So Lamar Hunt decided to open up his own franchise. Wait a minute. He decided to open up his own league. Lamar Hunt had that much money that he said, damn that, I just started my own league. So he started the AFL, and that's how we got, bam, yep, the Dallas Texans. The Dallas Texans that you're familiar with, those Dallas Texans. So the Dallas Texans helmet, this is what I have right here. The Dallas Texans helmet, look at it, it's pretty cool, isn't it? It has a logo of the state of Texas, and in it is a star. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? A star. A star. Not to be confused with this star, but a star. Okay, we'll get back to this star in a minute, but let's talk about this star, the Lone Star, right there, Dallas Texans. And that's how we got the Dallas Texans. So in order to combat this new league from starting up and making money and taking money away from the NFL decided to go ahead and, locate a team in Dallas. That team was, the Dallas Cowboys. So this team came first, and then this team came. But the Dallas Cowboys wasn't originally the Dallas Cowboys. They weren't. They weren't the Dallas Cowboys. The original name of the Dallas Cowboys was the Dallas Steers. Somebody told, Clint Murchison, you really don't want to name your team the Dallas Steers because the Dallas Steers means that, you know what a steer is, right? That means it's a castrated bull. So nobody wants to have a castrated bull to be the mascot of their football team. Because football players and football teams supposed to be tough. You can't have no Dallas steer. What a joke. So what they did decide to do was they changed the name of the Dallas Steers. See the star again. Don't get confused with this one. So they changed the name to the Dallas Rangers. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Texas Rangers, Dallas Rangers. There is nothing original about any of this. Nothing. So the Dallas Rangers came into the league. But before they played the first game, they decided to change their name to the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah. Okay, if you're looking at the helmet, Don Perkins signed this helmet. He signed this one. So that is what we have here going on. So that was one of the original players of the Dallas Cowboys, Don Perkins, brother. Great running back, brother. Very solid individual, total. So now the Dallas Cowboys are playing, but they're not good. They're not good. They're very bad. Not as bad as the one version that we have today, but they're bad. But their logo was like this. This is what their logo was, the Dallas Cowboys, and they played in the Cotton Bowl, the same place that the Dallas Texans played. I love the logos, man. So the Dallas Cowboys stole the Kansas City Chiefs logo. And I love the logos here because the logos, they're pretty cool. You saw the color, right? You saw the color. So that the colors being what it is, that's what we have here. So I happen to have one. I always happen to have something to show and tell because history is about showing and telling. Showing you what has already happened and then telling you about it. So this is the Dallas Texans logo. You see it's a cowboy, isn't it? Again, nothing. You catching what I'm talking about, right? It's nothing original about that. That looks like a cowboy. But when you have a helmet like this, there's no cowboy on it. No cowboy on it at all. Then we move to this helmet, and it's more up to date, because they changed the colors. They have that metallic blue into it, but this was the original. So now the Dallas Texans and the Dallas Cowboys are playing in the Cotton Bowl. They're playing in the Cotton Bowl, but guess which team is the team that everyone loves? This one. Because this is the team that's winning. They actually won an AFL championship. Salute to Abner Haynes. I've talked to you before about Abner Haynes, a local kid. I can't say local kid because, he's nothing kiddish about Abner Haynes. This guy was so phenomenal that he integrated college sports in the South, the first football player to integrate college sports in the South, playing for an integrated North Texas State University team. And he also integrated the Dallas Texans. So now the Dallas Texans had African-American players. The Dallas Cowboys had 2 to 3. They had the token the other brother, and the backup. Three. The token, the other brother, and the backup. So that's what they did, which caused some problems on road trips because, well, one person always had a room to themselves because they, being what it was, they didn't have white and black players, to room together. It's still the South. So now through this whole deal, the Dallas Texans won the AFL championship, and it's just not enough room here for two teams in a market like this. But the market being what it was, Lamar Hunt decided to move his team to Kansas City after the 1962 football championship. Well, he moved his team to Kansas City, and then it became the Kansas City Chiefs. Now you know, before Dallas became America's team, there wasn't even Dallas's team. One team outranked them when it came to putting a product on the field, which was the Dallas Texans, Kansas City Chiefs now. One team outsold them, the Dallas Texans. And one team had African-American players in greater numbers than the Dallas Cowboys. Well, I guess you now know everything you need to know about the Dallas Cowboys going up to that time frame. So, hey, I know you're going to enjoy Thanksgiving dinner. I know you're going to be rooting for those Dallas Cowboys, America's team. But keep in mind, before they became America's team, they wasn't even Dallas's team. And now you know. Hey, go Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? We'll see you guys later. Take care.